collaboration with the Council for Educational Administration and Management, brings together a global community of researchers, practitioners, and policymakers. The core philosophy of this conference lies in the synergy between technological efficiency and human empathy. While technology provides us with the tools to scale knowledge, personalize learning, and bridge geographical gaps, it is the educator's touch, mentorship, emotional intelligence, and more guidance that transforms information into wisdom. Learn, reimagining how we acquire knowledge in a digital first world. Lead, empowering educators and students to navigate the complexities of the 21st century with ethical leadership. Transcend, moving beyond traditional boundaries to create inclusive, transdisciplinary, and future ready learning ecosystems.
A warm welcome set the tone for any great event. I now invite Dr. Shalini S., Principal of Sri Narayana Guru Kripa B.Ed College, Pothangot, to deliver the welcome speech.
Good morning to everyone present here. A very warm welcome to all of our respected dignitaries, speakers, and participants joining us online today. Though we are meeting virtually, our minds and hearts are connected in the spirit of learning, collaboration, and academic exchange. We are delighted to have you with us. Esteemed delegates, distinguished academicians, researchers, educators, students, and dear participants. A very warm good morning to all of you. On behalf of Sri Narayana Guru Kripa B.Ed College, Pothangot, it is my proud privilege and honor to extend a warm welcome to you all to the International Conference and 24th Annual Convention of the Council for Teacher Education Foundation Kerala, jointly organized by Sri Narayana Guru Kripa B.Ed College, Ctef Kerala, in collaboration with Council for Educational Administration and Management. We feel truly honored to host this prestigious academic gathering that brings together educators, thinkers, researchers, and leaders in teacher education from diverse regions, united by a shared commitment to transforming education for the future. The theme for this conference, Learn, Lead, and Transcend through Education, Balancing Tech and Touch, is both timely and profound. In an era where technology is rapidly reshaping classrooms, this theme reminds us that education must not only be intelligent but also humanized, not only advanced but also compassionate. As the principal of this hosting institution, I take this moment to express our deep gratitude to Ctef.
Hello, we cannot hear.
You.
Yes, continue.
Okay, ma'am. With immense pleasure and pride, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all the dignitaries, resource persons, delegates, faculty members, research scholars, students, and participants to this prestigious conference. It also our privilege to welcome Dr. K.M. Bhandarkar, Chairman, Ctef National, whose words of appreciation will surely inspire and encourage all of us in our academic journey. On behalf of the organizing committee, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
I extend a cordial welcome to our esteemed chairperson, Dr. M.S. Geeta, Chairperson, Ctef Kerala, and former Dean, Faculty of Education, University of Kerala. We are truly honored to have your presence and guidance with us today for Chairman's address. On behalf of the entire organizing team, I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Shalini.
At the outset, I would like to specially welcome Dr. K. Anwar, Principal, KTCT College of Teacher Education, and State Coordinator, Ctef Kerala, who will brief us on the conference objective and vision, We look forward to his insightful words that will set the tone of today's deliberations. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to welcome Dr. Danya CS, faculty member of Sri Narayana Guru Kripa B.Ed College for this function. Welcome, ma'am. I also extend a warm welcome to Advocate T. Nirmalanandan, Sri Vishnu Nirmal, our respected management representatives whose support and encouragement are instrumental in organizing such a meaningful academic event.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
take this opportunity to welcome all the participants once again and wish you a day of fruitful discussion, enriching interactions and inspiring learning. Thank you all for being part of this academic gathering. Welcome you all.
Thank you, Dr. Shalini, ma'am. It is a pleasure to introduce Dr. K. Anwar, a distinguished figure in the field of teacher education in Kerala, who serves in dual high-profile capacities as the principal of KTCT College of Teacher Education and the state coordinator of the Council for Teacher Education Foundation, Kerla State Center. As the principal of KTCT College of Teacher Education, Dr. Anwar has been instrumental in fostering an environment of academic excellence. And in his role as the state coordinator for CTEF Kerala, Dr. Anwar acts as a vital bridge between National Foundation and the local teacher education community. Dr. Anwar's dedication to the community has not gone unnoticed. In early 2026, he was honored with the award of the most committed teacher educator for extension work, a testament to his efforts in taking education beyond the classroom and into the social sphere. Sir, I welcome you to this occasion.
Thank you. Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Audible? Is it audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Intention of a seminar and consider it a profound privilege to address this august audience. The International Conference and 24th Annual Convention of CTEF Kerala is jointly organized by Sri Narayana Guru Kripa College, B.Ed College Potangod and CTF Kerala in collaboration with the Council for Teacher Education and Council for Educational Administration and Management. The conference is themed Learn, Lead, Transcend through Education, Balancing Tech and Touch. Scheduled to be held over 3 days from 22nd to 24th January 2026. The conference aims to advance the discourse of teacher education in critically examining the integration of technological innovations with the essential human dimensions of teaching and learning. The program includes panel discussion, technical sessions, memorial lectures, paper presentation, exchange, and professional collaboration. The conference adopts a blended mode on the first day, followed by offline sessions on the second and third days, thereby ensuring wider participation while maintaining the meaningful academic researchers, education policymakers from India and abroad. The key objectives of the conference include exploring emerging trends in educational research, promoting innovational pedagogical practices, examining the ethical use of artificial intelligence in education, strengthening social emotional Indian knowledge system within the contemporary educational framework. Day 1, 22nd January 2026, starts with a blended mode. Inaugural and formal process. Research. The session is moderated by Professor Mohan B. Menon, former Deputy Vice Chancellor Vasuan Open University, Malaysia, and the Chairman of KHAC ITEP Committee of Kerala. The panel comprises of a distinguished scholars who address key contemporary issues in the education. Professor Dr. Geeta Kalyan Shinde, Head of the School of Education, Savitribai Phule University, and presence on ethical and responsible use of Artificial Intelligence in Education and Research. Professor Dr. Maya S., former Professor Marty Phillips Training College, Trivandrum, deliberates the research on social emotional learning programs and the students' outcomes. Dr. Dhananjay Neeraj, head of the Department of Education, Gaya College, discusses the culturally relevant pedagogy in educational practice. Dr. Srilada, principal, NVK State College of Teacher Education, Attur, presents insight on design-based research for classroom innovation. The session concludes with an interactive discussion and summative remarks by the moderator. The technical sections of the first one is 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. The technical section features the theme presentation of Binita Kumari Paudel, Associate Professor, Department of Public Health, Parbanjal University, Nepal, on the double-edged sword of social media in youth mental health. Lunch break starts from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Technical sessions 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Technical section includes theme presentation of Dr. Kiran Arora, former Vice Chancellor, Bahra University, Solent, on innovative practice in school and higher education. This is followed parallel academic sessions comprising of a selection process for Professor Sukumaran Nair Memorial Award of Pedagogical Brilliance and online paper presentation conducted simultaneously across the multiple venues. Day 2, 23 January 2026. Offline mode. Inaugural and formal proceedings 9 a.m. to 11:40 a.m. The second day of the conference commenced with the participant registration of 9 a.m. followed by invocation rendered by the students or college choir. The comprehensive report of the proceedings of day 1 is presented by Mrs. Renjita Raju, Assistant Professor, Sri Narayana Gurukripa College, Pothangoda. The formal welcome address is delivered by Dr. Shalini, Principal, Srinarayana Gurukripa B.Ed College. Introductory remarks are offered by Professor Nimmi Maria Woman, General Secretary, Ctef Kerla, and the Principal, Titus II College of Teacher Education, Tiruvalla. The presidential address is delivered by Dr. M.S. Geeta, Chairperson, Ctef Kerala. Blessing messages are extended by His Excellency Most Reverend Joseph Mar Thomas, Bishop of Sultan Batheri and Vice President of CBCI, and Sami Gururatnam Jana Tabasi, General Secretary of Shantigiri Ashram. The inaugural address is delivered by Dr. A.K. Anil Kumar, Director, ISRO Telemetry Tracking the Command Network, Bangalore, highlighting the role of scientific innovation and the leadership in national development. Special address are delivered by Dr. V.M. Shashikumar, President, Council of Educational Administration and Management. Professor Jacob Matthew, the former Principal of Government College of Teacher Education, Tirunelveli, and the Vice Chairman of Ctef Kerala. And Sri Vishnu Nirmal, Management Representative, also participated. Tea break session is 11:30 to 11:40 a.m. The keynote 11:40 a.m. to 12 p.m. Honoring the academic achievers are scholarly contributors 12 p.m. to 40 p.m. The session is coordinated by Dr. Nimmi Maria Woman and Dr. Pemendran, coordinator, program coordinated by Professor Asha Devi and Professor K. Rajeshri, recognizing the outstanding contribution of teacher education. The session also features the release of scholarly publication coordinated by Professor Bindu CM and Dr. Anis Muhammad and Anila Chako. The words of appreciation, the 12:40 p.m. to 12:55 p.m. Appreciation address delivered by Dr. G. Valsala, former principal of IASC Thrissur and Vice Chairperson of Ctef Kerala. Professor G.B. Givargis, member of KCBC Women's Commission and Secretary, All India Women's Conference Kerala Chapter. The vote of thanks are Professor Dr. K. Rajeshri, Professor and Head of the Center of Research and Development, NVK State College of Teacher Education, Attur, and Vice Chairperson of Ctef Kerala and Kerala on the topic from literacy skills to life skills. Research paper presentation 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. The session comprises of competitive offline paper presentations followed by general research and presentations conducted by concurrently across the multiple venues. General body meeting starts from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. The general body meeting of Ctef Kerala convened to deliberate on organizational matters and future initiatives. The cultural program starts from 5:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. The day concludes with a cultural performance, providing an opportunity for informal interaction and cultural expression among participants. Day 3, 24 January 2026, offline mode. General research paper presentation 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The technical session starts from 10 a.m. to 10:50 a.m. Technical session features theme of Dr. Sajan K.S., Assistant Professor, NSS Training College, Ottapalam, on integration on digital and physical classrooms. The sessions critically examine the blended learning environments and their implications of contemporary pedagogical practice. Tea break starts from 10:50 a.m. to 11 a.m. The panel discussion on Indian knowledge system 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The panel discussion of the theme Indian knowledge system conducted under the moderator of Professor M.N. Mohammeduni alias Mustafa, head of the Department of Education, Central University, Kerala. The panel comprises of eminent academicians and teacher educators, including Professor Dr. Mariam Matthew, head of the MA Department, Titus II College of Teacher Education, Tiruvalla, Professor Bindu CM, Professor and former head of the Department of Education, University of Calicut, Professor Dr. Joju John, Principal of Mar Theophilus Training College, Dr. Divya Sisen, Associate Professor of Department of Education, University of Kerala, and Dr. Anwar K, Principal, KTCT College of Teacher Education. And the session concludes with the open forum of discussion and enabling active participation and engagement. The technical session 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Lunch break 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Validity session starts from 2 p.m. onwards. The validity session begins with the welcome address of Dr. Shalini, Principal, Sri Narayana Guru Kripa College, and comprehensive conference resume is presented by Srimati Shifa SS, Assistant Professor, Sri Narayana Guru Kripa College, B.Ed College, and the Trivandrum Declaration encompassing the key academic resolutions and recommendations of the conference presented by Dr. Samvi Daniel, and former principal of Mount Tabor Training College and advisory board member, Ctef Kerala. The presidential address is delivered by Professor K. Jacob Matthew, Vice Chairman of Ctef Kerala. The valedictory address delivered by Professor Dr. Achu Shankar, former Dean and Professor of Bioinformatics, University of Kerala, followed by special address by Dr. T.K. Matthew, the former Principal, Titus II Teachers Training College, and the advisory board member of Ctef Kerala. The session includes the distribution of paper presentation awards and PhD mementos coordinated by Dr. Pemendran, Dr. Bindu KJ, and Ms. Srikuti SS. The participant of feedback is subsequently collected. The certificates of participation are distributed by Srimati Ashwati L, Assistant Professor, Sri Narayana Guru Kripa College. The conference formally concludes with the vote of thanks proposed by Sri Vishnuji, the coordinator and Assistant Professor of Sri Narayana Guru Kripa College, followed by the rendition of national anthem. The three-day international conference underscored a critical importance of collaboration, innovation, and scholarly excellence of the field of teacher education. The active participation of eminent academicians, national leaders of science and education, reversed spiritual dignitaries, and distinguished international experts significantly enriched the academic deliberations, thereby enhancing intellectual depth of global relevance of the program. The seminar emerged as a grand success, enabling participants to experience an academic vision, institutional excellence, and professional grandeur of Council of Teacher Education (CTF) and Council of Education Administration and Management (KEAM) and Sri Narayana Guru Kripa College of Pothangur and the various other colleges and teacher educators collaborate with the organization and execution of the prestigious academic event. Thank you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir, for clearly outlining the objectives of this conference. Now, I invite Dr. M.S. Geeta, Chairperson of the Council for Teacher Education Foundation, Kerala, and former Dean, Faculty of Education, University of Kerala, to deliver the Chairman's address.
Thank you. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning to one and all. Distinguished speakers on the dais, Dr. K.M. Bhandarkar, the National President, CTEF, Advocate Nirmalanandan, the Manager of the College, Dr. S. Shalini, the General Convener, Dr. K. Anwar, the State Coordinator of CTEF Kerala, Sri Vishnu Nirmal, Management Representative, Dr. Danya, the Coordinator, other members of CTEF and SEAM, eminent scholars who are going to participate in the panel presentation today, national and international theme presenters, dedicated team of organizers from the college, and CTEF and SEAM part, and dear delegates, friends, research scholars, and students from various categories from across the nation. It gives me immense pleasure to honor to welcome you all this to all this international conference on the theme Learn, Lead and Transcend Through Education, Balancing Tech and Touch. This theme is both timely and important as education today stands between swift technological progress and enduring human values. At the very outset, I would like to congratulate the organizers, Sri Nirmalanandan, the different committees, Dr. Shalini, and all those who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to conceptualize and successfully organize this international conference. I also extend my sincere thanks to our national president, Dr. Bhandarkar ji, for his timely encouragement of the state chapter. I am especially grateful to him for kindly agreed to share the words of appreciation with us today. Professor Nilima Bhagavati, the National Secretary General, who had agreed to deliver a message today, is unwell, and she will not be able to appear in the platform. As this is an international conference, many eminent national and international scholars are participating today and today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow in various deliberations, including panel presentations, panel discussions, theme presentations, and international discourse talk or international resource talk. Okay. And I warmly welcome the diverse group of distinguished personalities on behalf of CTEF Kerala. Now, let me turn to the theme of the conference. We know that education has always been the most powerful tool for transformation. And the theme Learn, Lead and Transcend Through Education, Balancing Tech and Touch reminds us that while technology is reshaping learning at an unprecedented pace, the human values of empathy, ethics, and personal connection must remain at the heart of education. And it calls upon us to use innovation not as a replacement for human touch, but as a means to enhance meaningful learning, leadership, and holistic growth. Let us reflect on the three key ideas embedded in this theme. First word is learn. Today, learning is no longer confined to classrooms or textbooks. With the advent of technology, learning happens everywhere, and knowledge is now within the reach of all. That is the significance of the word learn here. The second idea or the word is lead. In a world marked by constant change, leadership calls for thoughtful responses or informed responses. Education empowers us to generate new ideas, inspire others, and guide our communities through periods of complexity and transformation. That is the significance of the word lead here. And the third idea is transcend. That is, to transcend means to go beyond boundaries, to go beyond geographical boundaries, cultural boundaries, and intellectual boundaries. It encourages us to think beyond limits, respect diverse perspectives, and connect with the wider world. This conference, this is an international conference and it supports or fosters cross-cultural dialogue by bringing together scholars from different countries and backgrounds, allowing us to share ideas, learn from one another's experiences, and build mutual understanding across cultures. And the second part of the theme is the phrase balancing tech and touch. This phrase beautifully captures the essence of modern education. While technology enhances access, efficiency, and innovation, it is the human touch, that is, the values, the emotions, mentorship, and compassion that gives education its soul, its true meaning. True progress lies not in choosing one over the other, but in harmonizing both so that technology serves humanity and education nurtures both the mind and the heart. I am not prolonging my address on the theme. I will now briefly outline the activities of CTEF Kerala chapter and about the conference. You know, this is an international conference and we are collaborating with SEAM and we are celebrating the 24th annual convention of CTEF Kerala. The conference spans 3 days. As in the previous years, the year 2025 also has been a very productive year for CTEF Kerala. We have conducted successful multiple international, national, and state level seminars, webinars, workshops, talk series, symposiums, and discussions on pressing needs, focusing on pressing needs like NEP 2020 and integrated teacher education program and related themes in teacher education. What made this year especially significant was our collaboration with an international academic engagement. That is, we had the privilege of traveling abroad to Nepal and we have organized two conferences in collaboration with Kathmandu University and Triphuvan University, Nepal, in collaboration with Council for Educational Administration and Management. And I am proud to note that, I am proud to say that more than 10 members from Kerala CTEF actively participated and presented papers. And they took part in different deliberations. That is, there were panel discussions, panel presentations, theme paper presentation, keynote addresses, etc. And each member contributed to scholarly dialogue and strengthening academic collaboration beyond our borders. And this collective achievements stands as a proud milestone, earning CTEF Kerala the Best Chapter Award at the national level this year. The letter sent by National CTEF, that is Bhandarkar ji, I have put it in the CTEF groups today. Thank you all the evaluators at the national level for conferring this award to CTEF Kerala chapter. And these initiatives reflect CTEF's strong commitment to academic excellence and professional growth and lifelong learning among teacher educators. I take this opportunity to gratefully acknowledge the wholehearted support and cooperation of all CTEF Kerala members in making these initiatives a success and making getting this award for CTEF Kerala chapter. And once again, I commend the organizers, especially the manager, Sri Nirmalanandan, and Dr. Shalini, the general convener, and all faculty members of the college for their excellent effort in organizing this international conference. And they have generously offered the venue for CTF convention also. And they have shown great magnanimity in providing us with this valuable platform, the college. I am confident that these 3 days, the deliberations over these days will inspire new ideas, meaningful partnership, and a renewed commitment to the transformative power of education. And with these words, I formally wish the conference a beginning and a highly successful festival. Have a wonderful and enriching conference ahead. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. M.S. Geeta ma'am, for your valuable insights about our conference. Now I invite Dr. K.M. Bandarkar, the National President of the Council for Teacher Education Foundation. A towering figure in Indian teacher education, Dr. Bandarkar has spent decades shaping the professional landscape for educators across the country. His leadership has been pivotal in transforming the council from its early roots into a premier national and international organization. As the national president of CTEF, Dr. Bandarkar has been the driving force behind the organization's expansion across 23 chapters and several overseas branches. Dr. Bandarkar's philosophy aligns perfectly with the conference theme. He has consistently argued that while multidisciplinary and digital-ready institutions are the future, they must remain rooted in the Guru Shishya tradition of dialogue and mentorship. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Greetings to all of you on behalf of Council for Teacher Education, the biggest organization of teachers and teacher educators in India. Friends, let us allow me to pay my salutation to late Dr. K. Sivdasan Pillai sir, founder president of the Kerla chapter of the CTEF. I have met him 2 times in 1980s at Dr. Chaurasia's house, founder president of the Council for Teacher Education Foundation. Geeta, madam, is leading the, and I am very happy to mention that under her leadership and her team, the Kerala chapter has earned the first prize, the best chapter of CTEF. So that is actually very creditable. My friends from Kerala, Dr. V.M. Sasikumar sir, K.Y. Benedict sir, Dr. V. Regu sir, principal of the college Shalini madam, Dr. Ramchandran sir, Dr. K. Anwar sir, Rajeshwari madam, Nimmi madam, and all esteemed friends from Kerala. I don't know how many have joined, but I am very proud of Kerala chapter because you are the driving force, I should mention, driving force of CTEF. Many other chapters take their inspiration from Kerala chapter, and I often mention that we should get inspiration from Kerala chapter. The teaching professionals in Kerala, their dedication, their competencies, and their performance in their institutions. Well, I had been to Calicut, and a very good conference was organized, 38th conference of the CTEF by Principal Anil Kumar sir, with collaboration from CTEF Kerala, and that conference was actually a memorable event. As far as the theme of today's conference. This is international conference and 24th convention of the Kerla chapter. Learn, lead, and transcend through education, balancing tech and touch. Actually, education is said to be the strongest shield and sharpest weapon against all human problems. So that is there. It is very, very important. And one of our education said, education is not for life. Education is life itself. So that is there. And this important conference has been organized by Guru Krupa B.Ed College, Thiruvananthapuram, in collaboration with CEAM. I congratulate both the agencies and the management of the Guru Kripa B.Ed College. You are actually working to enhance teachers and teacher educators. We need teachers who will transform the mindset of our students. Mindset is very important because each and every commission on education mentioned that, for example, Radhakrishnan Commission, teacher is a bridge between two generations. He is actually an agent who transforms the values, knowledge, and culture from one generation to another. Then Kothari Commission, the destiny of India is being shaped in her classrooms. That was the sentence coined by J.P. Nayak, Secretary General of the Kothari Commission. Mudliar Commission also said teacher plays a pivotal role in the field of education. Then 1986 policy, no people in any country can rise above the level of their teachers. So that was the key sentence. And in NEP 2020, teacher is a torch bearer. So each and every policy emphasized the importance of teacher. So that has to be kept in mind. And we as a teacher training institute have been entrusted a great responsibility of preparing teachers. Teachers who can lead, who can show the way of progress, but without losing human values. That is very important. And as far as the theme of the conference, which is very precise and relevant in today's scenario, because we are losing human values. So there should be an good integration between technology and human values. That is important. Otherwise, technology will become a machine. And the people who are working with technology will become just like a robot. So that should not happen. So there are so many qualities of a teacher if he or she wishes to lead the student community. And NEP 2020 rightly mentions balancing tech and touch is central to our policy. Ensuring technology-enabled learning while preserving human values, empathy, and teacher-student interaction. That was lacking, that is still lacking in our education system. We should admit that. I often mentioned about Nobel laureates. I will not repeat that thing. How many Nobel laureates we have produced and what is the reason? Why are not we standing in the row of the countries who have produced so many Nobel laureates? What is the reason? The only reason being absence of interaction between student and teacher. So still we are using at the most the lecture methods and other methods like lecture method. So Vikasit Bharat also emphasizes balance between technology and human touch to achieve inclusive, ethical, and sustainable development. Sustainable development. Development should be there, but it should be sustainable. Rather, it must be sustainable because we are facing so many environmental problems. Look at the environment of Delhi and many other cities of India. So many of our cities are actually getting polluted, and we should not be careless because I am afraid of the careless people. They don't put off lights, they don't put off fans, and they are so careless. So I am really worried about those type of people. So those type of people should not be there. So Vikasit Bharat vision also emphasizes on inclusive education. That is very important. Then what are the core qualities to lead? Integrity and honesty, vision, resilience and courage. We often face so many problems in our life, but the quality of resilience should be there. Otherwise, we will fail to achieve our goals. Self-awareness, you know well, humility, then communication skill. Kalidasa in 6th century mentioned that a person who is not having communications skill should not become a teacher. Look at the thought given by great Kalidasa in 6th century. Then empathy and social intelligence, we are again lagging behind this. Then decisiveness, then accountability of our teaching professionals. So that should be actually taken. Then empowerment of the person who is standing on the last step of development. What we are doing for his or her empowerment, that is important. Then adaptability. Darwin mentioned the survival of the fittest. We should modify it. Survival of the most adaptive. Survival of the most acclimatized. The organism which acclimatized with environment only survived in the course of evolution. That has to be taken into consideration. So these are some of the very good qualities a leader should possess. And teacher, if he really wish to lead his or organization and his students, he must have the qualities of self-awareness, respect for the others, compassion, vision, communication, collaboration, then influence, power to influence, ability to influence, integrity, then courage to speak truth, then gratitude and resilience. Gratitude is very important. I have actually mentioned so many times, we are losing gratitude intelligence. This is perhaps a new concept. Gratitude intelligence, it should be there. Otherwise, we will lose our integrity. Gratitude intelligence is very, very important. And day after day, we are losing that. So one more thing I would like to mention on this platform is that can we take care of educational skill? Can we bring all other skills under the umbrella of educational skills? My senior friend Devendra Goyal from MS University has identified so many educational skills, and I have also tried to add some of them. For example, self-development skills, social skills, communication skills, resilience skills, social responsibility skills. We are lacking this. We are lacking actually social sense also, civic sense also. human relation skills, emotional skills, adjustment skills. Education is for adjustment. Citizenship skills, we are badly lacking. Accountability and adaptability skills. Then life skills, you know well. Regulating thinking skills, this is very important. Research skills, we are lacking again this type of skills. Constructivist skills, then connectionist skills, then systems thinking skills, info-savvy skills, techno-pedagogic skills, open education resources skills, how to take advantage of these resources, creative leadership skills, administration skills, time management skills. We should be very careful about time. The person who said time is money was not very intelligent. Money doesn't matter as against time. Time is precious. Spiritual development skills. Einstein rightly said that science without spirituality, science without spiritual skills, science without spiritual values will ultimately end into destruction of humankind. So that was his statement. Yoga skills and holistic development skills. So can we take all the skill? Can we include all the skill under the umbrella of educational skills? And I am of the opinion that there should be an independent subject entitled educational skills. So that is my opinion. And today's education is conceptual education, is skill-based education. Previously, it was teacher-centered, then it became learner-centered, and now it is learning-centered education. What are your learning outcomes? NAAC also focuses on that. So that is what I wanted to mention here. And I really congratulate the office bearers of the Kerla chapter for their enthusiasm, for their dedication, and for their sincere efforts to uplift the standard of education, the quality of education, and we are all proud of Kerala chapter. I should be thankful to the organizers and all esteemed office bearers of the management of Guru Kripa College, principal of the college, and office bearers of the Kerala chapter, especially chairperson Dr. M.S. Geeta Madam and her entire team. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts with you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite coordinator of the session, Dr. Danya C.S., Assistant Professor in English of Sri Narayana Guru Kripa B.Ed College, to express gratitude.
Good morning, one and all. Respected dignitaries, esteemed delegates, faculty members, dear participants, and beloved students. On behalf of the organizing committee of the International Conference and 24th Annual Convention of the Council for Teacher Education Foundation Kerala, jointly organized by Srinarayana Guru Kripa B.Ed College, Potangod, and Ctef Kerala in collaboration with SEAM, I consider it a great privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this formal session. At the outset, I extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Shalini S., Principal Srinarayana Guru Kripa B.Ed College, for her warm and thoughtful welcome address. Her words beautifully set the tone for the conference by graciously welcoming all dignitaries, delegates, and students by highlighting the spirit of academic collaboration and shared learning that this conference upholds. I express my deep appreciation to Dr. K. Anwar, Principal, KT City College of Teacher Education and State Coordinator, Ctef Kerla, for the comprehensive briefing of the three-day conference. His clear presentation of the objectives, structure, and academic flow of the conference provided participants with a meaningful roadmap and reinforced the academic significance of this international gathering. I convey my heartfelt thanks to our respected chairperson, Dr. M.S. Geeta, CTF, chairperson CTF Kerala, and former dean, Faculty of Education, University of Kerala, for her inspiring chairman's address, her insightful expansion of the conference theme, Learn, Lead, and Transcend through Education, Balancing Tech and Touch, offered profound reflections on the need to harmonize innovation and technology with human values, ethics, empathy, and compassion. By elaborating on the core ideas of learning, leadership, and transcendence, and by emphasizing the importance of human touch in an increasingly digital educational landscape, her address truly enriched the intellectual depth of this session. Her outline of the role and vision of CTF Kerala further strengthened our collective commitment to value-based and future-ready teacher education. I place on record a sincere gratitude to Dr. K.M. Bhandakar, Chairman, CTF National level, for his enlightening words of appreciation. His reflections on the working and vision of the CTF Kerala chapter offered valuable insight into the organization's commitment to meaningful and life-oriented education. His powerful reminder that education is not for life, education is life itself, resonated deeply with the audience. By emphasizing the indispensability of human values alongside technological advancement, and by highlighting that technology should enable learning while preserving empathy, ethics, and human touch, his address reinforced the very essence of this conference theme and inspired us to pursue education as a holistic and human endeavor. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to Sri Vishnu Nirmal, Management Representative, for his presence and support. I express my sincere gratitude to our respected manager, Nirmalanand sir, whose constant guidance, encouragement, and visionary leadership continue to strengthen the academic and ethical foundation of our institution. I would also like to acknowledge with deep appreciation the dedicated efforts of our faculty members, whose academic commitment, teamwork, and wholehearted cooperation have been instrumental in shaping this conference into a vibrant platform for learning, reflection, and dialogue. Once again, I express my sincere gratitude to all dignitaries and contributors whose presence and words have made this formal session meaningful and inspiring. Thank you all. Have a pleasant day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's a time for panel presentation on the theme Trends and New Insight in Educational Research. Now I invite Anupriya Vijayan and Aditya B. Anu to handle this session.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates and budding researchers, welcome back. We are now moving into one of the most intellectually stimulating segments of our conference, the panel presentation. The theme for this session is highly relevant to the current academic landscape, trends and new insights in educational research, from artificial intelligence to emotional learning, and from cultural pedagogy to classroom innovation. This session promises to cover the entire spectrum of modern educational evolution.
To steer the ship and guide our discussions, we have with us an eminent personality in the field of education. It's my privilege to introduce Professor Dr. Mohan B. Menon, the founding honorary chairperson of Disha Global Trust, Kochi. With a distinguished career spanning over 45 years, he has held pivotal leadership roles globally. These include serving as the Chief and Director of UNESCO UNRWA Education Program in Jordan, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Wawasan Open University, Malaysia, and Chairman of the National Institute of Open Schooling, NIOS, India. A recipient of a D.Lit honoris causa from the Open University of Sri Lanka, he continues to serve on the board of the International Council for Education on Teaching, ICET. He currently serves as the chairman of the KSHEC ITEP Committee, Kerala. With his vast experience in educational leadership and policy, we could not have asked for a better chair to moderate this session. Sir, I request you to take your seat as the moderator of the session.
Now, I would like to invite our distinguished panelists to join us in the session. Our first panelist is Professor Geeta Kalyan Shinde. We are privileged to have with us today Professor Geeta Shinde, a dedicated teacher and researcher whose work focuses on women empowerment, their pride women's issues, and inclusive education. Currently, serving as the head of the department at SSPU, she is also the president of Savitribai Phule Pune University Teachers Association and the vice president of the Women Teacher Educators Association. Beyond her academic role, she is an active member of various social organizations working towards women's and girls' education, known as an engaging speaker and an approachable, resourceful counselor. Let us give a warm welcome to Dr. Shinde.
Our next speaker is Professor Dr. Maya S., a distinguished academician and researcher with over 20 years of experience in the field of teacher education. Let me have the privilege to welcome Professor Maya S., former professor at Mar Theophilos Training College, Thiruvananthapuram. An accomplished scholar, she holds a doctorate in education from the University of Kerala and was a third rank holder in her M.Ed program from the same institution. Professor Maya is an approved research guide under whom 5 PhDs have already been awarded. Her extensive contribution to academic literature includes the authorship of books such as Teaching of Biology and Peace Education, as well as over 40 papers published in referred journals. Let me have the privilege to welcome Professor Dr. Maya S. to the session.
It is our distinct pleasure to introduce two eminent academic leaders joining us today. First, it is a privilege to introduce Dr. Dhananjay Neeraj, a gold medalist and distinguished educationalist currently serving as the head of the Department of Education at Gaya College, Gaya. With a PhD in education from Utkal University, he has established himself as a prolific scholar with over 30 journal publications and 5 books to his credit. His exemplary contribution to the field have been recognized with numerous prestigious honors, including the Magda Ratna Award, the National Educational Leadership Award, and the Shiksha Ratna Samman. Beyond his academic leadership, Dr. Dheeraj is a renowned motivational speaker and corporate trainer specializing in areas such as stress management, NEP 2020, and teaching strategies. We are honored to have such a multifaceted leader and resource person with us today.
Joining him is Dr. Srilata, the principal of NVKSD College of Education, Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu. With rich experience in teaching and administration, she is a well-distinguished scholar. We are honored to have such profound expertise on our platform. We welcome you, ma'am, to the session.
Now, it's time to hand over the session to Professor Mohan B. Menon. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. And let me, first of all, say good morning to all of you all over the country. It's an international conference, and I am quite privileged to be invited to this international conference. When Professor Geeta requests me, I simply cannot say no. The reason is that she has been so vibrant and dynamic in leading the CTEF, in which I am also a member. So I've been seeing that how activities have been led by her. And let me also congratulate with others that for CTEF Kerala chapter getting the award for its activities. Now, looking at the theme, the larger theme of this conference, that primarily it talks about technology and human touch. See how technology can and the human values and other human aspects can be integrated into an educational situation. Basically, that's what it is. And especially this is extremely relevant today, as was pointed out by others too, that I hope you can hear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So others have pointed out too, that because technology seems to be overtaking the human engagement. And this happened especially after the COVID time, when we were compelled to use technology to a maximum due to unavoidable reasons. And partly it helped because many of us who are not using technology could then be more accustomed to or acquainted to using it for various purposes, but which in turn there was an apprehension that the human touch and human involvement at the appropriate places in the whole educational scenario, educational environment is getting lost. At this stage, permit me to remember how initially when technology was slowly being brought into education and teacher education in the 50s and 60s, 1950s and 60s, audiovisual aids, many would have heard that the present generation may not be talking about it much, was seen as an aid to support the human intervention or human teaching, whether it is teacher-centered or learner-centered engagements. But the audiovisual aids were seen only as a support. I tend to I am reminded of one great educationists and psychologists in this country, who incidentally whose birth anniversary, 100th birth anniversary is being celebrated this year, is Professor S.S. Kulkarni. Some of you would have heard about him. He worked for NCRT. He worked for UNESCO. He was with the director of the Institute of Banking Personnel Selection. And to me, he has been very, very, I mean, we talked about but Bhandarkar talked about gratitude, intelligence. I still feel the gratitude to him to the extent that that he is the one who really initiated me to the educational technology and into the when it was being introduced. You will remember it was not called educational technology those days. The program learning materials were coming in, Skinner's application, and then of course the audiovisual aids were being used. It was he, in a very formal way, through his writings and his trainings. I happened to go through a couple of workshops that he organized in the 70s, and it was introduced into ET in a formal way, as well as the system thinking. You remember today we all know about the not system thinking and design thinking. You see, the general systems theory which came up in the 50s, it is Bertalanffy who first talked about systems approach. And in education, we started using it in the 70s. And the systems approach became a very important concept to talk about education, especially. And it was very useful. And then people talked about designing educational environment. Of course, we somehow lost the design concept in between, maybe too much of technology coming in. Otherwise, educational technology is not just the use of gadgets or technology, the hardware, but also the use of a design, a systemic design. And today, of course, design is a very important thing in education. I'm not talking about educational science, but in other areas also. Go to management, go to any area. There are degrees in design that is being offered. But initially, this came up in education, and system thinking was brought in by Professor Kulkarni. So let me remember him at this stage. And why I'm telling it here is the 4 papers that I found from, and I'm quite privileged. I mean, I'm honored that they are from 4 different places in the country, by Professor Geeta Shinde, by Professor Maya, Dr. Danchai, and Dr. Srilata. They do provide a platform, or rather a thematic situation for us to discuss. There are topics which comes within the larger topic, and we have to see, especially from the research point of view. I looked at from research and development point of view. When you decide a curriculum, when you go for a curriculum, planning a curriculum transaction, or when you also designing a learning environment for one class or a few classes together, we have to take up a systemic approach there, where the gadgets will have its own place, and also the human interaction will have its own place. Today, especially when gadgets are sort of taking over some of the roles of the traditional teacher, like I can very well say that maybe a good lecture that, or a good that we get from open educational resources may be better than probably a local teacher giving a lecture. Maybe that's a good replacement, but the teacher has a role to play further, which I hope will be taken up in these 4 panel presentations. And then we can look at later, after the presentations are over, that how we can take a very holistic and systemic perspective when we talk about identifying educational issues, because of all our decisions, after all, deciding things, it's not a question of decision making. What are the right decisions we are making when it comes to which technology to be used, how it is to be used, how that can be combined, what will be the human involvement in it, what sort of resources that we need to have it in that teaching situation. Because many have now agreed that there are 4 types of interaction that is required for learning to take place. One is learner to learner interaction. How much of learner to learner interaction we can have, and what would be the role of the teacher to facilitate that? Learner to material interaction. So how materials can provide a stimulus for learner to have self-learning. So self-learning is an important thing too. And third is learner-teacher or facilitator interaction. What would be the type of group interaction? Actually, we are not giving enough emphasis, I would think, for the whole idea of group dynamics. It came from the theory of group dynamics. It is not 2 learners talking to each other or learner to teacher interaction. The environment that one can create in a group interaction, which can be a debate, which can be a discussion, which can be a seminar led to a discussion, or it can even be a chats going on in a social media where technology is used. All these are becoming important. So we should know more about how these things can be used. We need research, evidences for that. And for bringing all these things, and also to the what is talked about the AI, the first paper emphasis on ethics of using AI, which is a major challenge for us, the AI use, and its copyright issues related to AI, which we have not really examined much. And second, of course, we talk about the social and emotional learning, how that can be. These are not going to be separately coming into a learning situation. They have to be integrated with a systemic perspective. And then, of course, we have the culturally relevant pedagogy. What do we mean by culturally relevant? Is it the culture of the country, culture of a village, or culture of whatever situation we are talking about? How that can be made, the pedagogy can be made relevant to that. And also design itself. I'm very happy to see a paper on design-based research. I think it's very important that we continue doing with the design, the design and development and design approach. So let me stop here. I would request, I will come back later, and at that time, maybe I can give a consolidated picture of what is being presented by the panels. So I'm now, leaving it for the presenters. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our first topic tackles the technological frontier. Speaking on the ethical and responsible use of AI in education and research, let me welcome Professor Geeta Kalyana Shinde.
My screen is visible. Hello, everyone.
It is visible.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. So, good morning, respected chairperson and all dignitaries of and other panelists, esteemed researcher and education students and all my colleagues. So, good morning to everyone. So today is the privilege to share my reflection on the topic is shaped a present and the future of education and research, the responsible and the ethical use of artificial intelligence. And for this topic and is given the opportunity. So first of all, I would like to thanks Professor Bhandarkar sir, Dr. Bhagwati ma'am and Dr. Geeta ma'am. So once again, thanks. And I would like to share few things which is a responsible and ethical use of our artificial intelligence in the education and research. So artificial intelligence has rapidly become integral part of education research and the academic practices. Just now Professor Menon sir is mentioned very well. So this is important and unavoidable influence in our life, and that is the AI. So from the learning analysis and the adaptive assessment of predictive modeling and automated data analysis is the need of a today, and AI has expand the scope and speed of research in the all areas. So, however, the education is not about the efficacy, it is the deeply human centric enterprises, the concern with the learner's growth, equality, dignity, and opportunity. And I think, therefore, a real question is front of us how the advanced AI can be become a more stronger and stronger. Yes, of course, there is a one question, but how the responsibly we can choose to use it in our day-to-day life teaching learning process as well as in the research. That is the big question front of all globe actually. So today's conference topic and theme is need to be focused, and actually rather we are talking about this all how we can use a responsibility and what is our role about the using the AI in our teaching, learning, and just Professor Bhandarkar sir is mentioned that yeah, learner-centric education system is going on. So how this AI will be helped in the learning positive environment. So that is the point which I'm trying to discuss. So role of AI in the education and research when we are talking about that. So what is the advancement in the whole process? That is the one point. So powerful influence on the knowledge. Actually, we are agree with that. Is credited and interpreted, applied in everywhere, improve the quality of our life due to the AI nowadays we can see the overall the life learning and the expression is very high quality is we have found. So economic growth and competitiveness also increase, enhance the efficacy and the productivity, addressing the societal challenges and many problems, many issues. Now we can share with each other very quick in a minute, and we are giving our reflection on that. Previously, that is takes a long duration, but now on one click in our mobile through the Insta, Facebook, Twitter, we are connecting to each other in the corner of a world. So user empowerment and the engagement and sustainable development actually. So this is the technological advancement in the human life, and according to this, so now I'm coming with that the role of AI in education as well as in research. AI is the undoubtedly strengthen our educational research in the many several ways. Okay, so it allows the analysis of a large and a complex database. Actually, whenever we are doing a research, so previous PhD and today's PhD, there is a big question, and I think this is the one research topic, how the people and how the researcher and the scholars now getting the data and how they are using those all data. So large complex data is available through this AI. It's supposed to a model of a learning and the outcome of a reflections also. So learning outcome and the retention. So for this purpose, AI is playing a vital role. It assists the automated assessment and the feedback, identifies the learning pattern and the behavioral trends, and it's unable to research in the personalized and the adaptive learning. So personalized and adaptive learning now is possible due to the AI. So this capacity and the researcher make evidence-based decision and generate the new insight. Yet, with the increased real resilience and one algorithm with this AI and the human being. So we must also recognize that AI system are not a neutral. They reflect the data, assumptions, values embedded within that person and within that research in our hand. So how to use the data in our hand. So how to use the data and things. So that is the most important. So fairness also in this data privacy. So there we can say that the ethical responsibility whatever requires to inform the concerned data atomizations, secure the store and the access of this all data for the all persons. So compliance with the data protection regulation should be there. So learner not data must be the protected through one issue bias and fairness. Of course there is the many things under the bias based the conclusion about institutions and the reinforcement of the existing educational all challenge and issues and problems. So ethical research demands a continuous examination of a data and the algorithm to ensure the fair inclusivity and when we're talking about the transparency and the explanatory. So explanation, so there is a one example I would like to give that. So in the Oxford University, there is the one research is talked about. They given the one assignment for the three groups. One group is given the instruction, just open this question, whatever provided by the investigator. So open this question, use the chat GPT and write it. Another one group is given the instruction, yes, this question read, make the some points and give the some commands according to your points and write the answer. And one group is given the instruction, don't use any technology, any chat GPT, any mobile and computer or anything. So think about with that question point and write it yourself. So after this all exercise, so whatever they found that Those are use the ChatGPT as it is in the oral essay. Same with happen in the second. At least they can got some ideas. Yes, I make a some point and I can write like this. But those are didn't use any technology with their brain, with their experience, with their creativity. They try to write that essay and they explain each and everything whatever they wrote in that essay. So this is the explainability. I think with the AI we can do the many things, but without AI we can make them better and better with our creativity. Accountability and the responsibility under that, I would like to say that research outcomes, policy recommendation, the ethical implementation. AI is a tool, not a moral agent. So according to the accountability and the responsibility, there is the each and every person, each and every individual have their accountability and the responsibility towards their work, towards their ability, towards their skill, and towards the society as well as a nation, okay, as well as a human being. So I think we are accountable with our work, with our finding, with our answers. So that is the most important because we are using as a tool, that is not a agent. So another one point which is most important according to me, that is a human oversight and autonomy. In that I can say that human oversight, they ensure that AI findings are interpreted within the social and culturally in cultural context, educational value and preserved, and moral judgment remains the central. So I think these three main point along with this human oversight autonomy. Of course, just now sir is mentioned that the culturally and morally we are justify and the judgment remains the central, and moral and ethical things should be with us, be a researcher. That is the one point. So responsibility of a key stakeholder in this context, if we think that yes, of course these are the role and nature of that AI. So what is the responsibility of a key stakeholder? So there are the a number of key stakeholders in society, but I would like to say the researcher must what they need to be take care. So use the AI tool is a transparent or a transparency. They keep using the technology, but along with your dignity, along with your what you call that truthness, your clear idea, and your personal understanding with your creativity. Ensure the data quality and the consent. Of course, data quality must be most important because whatever the data you are just taking on and getting, and according to your writing in your thesis, that is not a good thing. One more example I would like to give here. So one thesis I evaluated, and in that I found that so data was interpreted very well. Each and every statistical technical things is mentioned very nicely. Person that researcher scholar is not able to give the any single answer because he never know how to analyze those all data, because whatever the command given to the SPSS or a computer, so they given the all data, they separately they make the is the most important. Just I mentioned the one example. So in that framework, if you can see that most important data is available. What must be a very clear. Encourage the collaboration between local global, this local to global. Globalization should be there. Globalization should be there. So in this context, I would like to give the one example. So with the collaboration with the Norway, we are working in the local global awareness of the technology. So I think there is the encouragement of collaboration. We can do that and bridge the gap between the educator, technologist, and the ethical consideration people. So I think that would be a based uh, uh, step to accept. Yeah. So my sorry. So next point is the policymaker must. So policymaker should be develop whatever the rigorous ethical framework. Just I mentioned that the protect learner rights. So learner rights, we just mentioned that is the learning process, see those all things and protect the learner rights along with the ensure the AI along with the educational equity and the social value. Of course, now just Bhandarkar sir and Professor respected Menon sir also talked about the gratitude and the educational skills along with the life skill. There is a number of skills was mentioned by the Professor Bhandarkar sir. So social responsibility and the social value is the most important, and that will be taken care by through all stakeholders with along with their using the technology. That is the one point. And now that is the main part and the main stakeholders when we are talking about the when society will be going to change with the in the hand of a teachers. So what must to do? So central to AI design and think as it is using the whatever the data or a product or PPT or, or all they can get. But what is customized, customized and giving some संस्कार जिसको कहते हैं. So can do this. AI should enhance, not replace the role of a teachers. Of course, we can enhance with our teaching ability, our experiences along with the AI, but that is not replacing the teacher, because without the teacher is not possible anything. This is my consideration. And the equality, language, cultural context are critical challenges. So this AI or a computer or a chat GPT is not going to be explain those all things except the teacher. So mentorship, guiding the students, speaking, fostering the cricket is the role of a teachers with the help of AI and providing the emotional and human connections. That is the most important, because AI is not providing any emotional and the human connection. So be a teacher. That is our duty and our responsibility. And global and the inclusive perspective when we're talking about this AI and the role of AI in the education. So cultural diversity, digital division and unequal capacity, this is the nature of globe. And along with and in that, so teacher is always playing a vital role, and ethics should be embedded, not added or later. So just sir is mentioned also, that is the embedded. So usko मिक्स होना चाहिए, इसी में इन्वॉल्व होना चाहिए, not a philosophy, sociology, cultural, ethical, and these are not a different. That is the integral part. This is the inclusivity. So I think that is the include in that.
Excuse me, ma'am.
So yeah, ma'am. Within 1 minute only. Last slide is there.
Okay.
So much. So this is as in milk, we can add the sugar, and that is the embedded. So that is not added in a separately. So I think education and AI will be go hand in hand. Looking ahead with the ethical by the design AI, just sir mentions the providing the emotional and the human connections and continuous ethical evaluation, ethical by the design system. That is the most important. Actually, this is the next, maybe my panelists are also going to focus on, and preparing the AI Act, educate and for the all. So in conclusion, I would like to say that AI can help the world analyze the faster, but only human can guide us wisely. And as a human being, we need to be used wisely, and AI makes all possible, but without I, it's impossible. I think without I is my meaning is that without a teacher, without a human being, that is impossible. So I think AI makes all possible, but without I, it's impossible. Thank you so much giving me this opportunity, and thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next speaker is Professor Dr. Maya S., a distinguished academician and researcher with over 20 years of experience in the field of teacher education.
Hello, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, audible. Audible.
Yes. Thank you. Is the slide visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, one and all. Respected moderator of the session, Dr. Menon sir, co-presenters, dignitaries, and dear friends. The topic of my presentation is scope of research on cell programs and student outcome. Before getting into the research aspects of cell, let me introduce what cell is. It is social emotional learning. So cell is the process of acquiring the competencies to recognize and manage emotions, develop care and concern for others, establish positive relationships, make responsible decisions, and handle challenging situations effectively. In other words, it's a holistic process of learning based on ethics and care. Social, emotional, and relational aspects of learning to enhance learners' well-being, academic success, and active national and global citizenship through positive social change. When we analyze history of traditional Indian education, whether it is Vedic or Dravidian or Buddhist, especially the Gurukul system, inherently supported social emotional learning through living with a guru, focusing on values like truth, discipline, empathy, practical wisdom, self-reliance, community living, and character development, along with academics. So which aligns with modern cell goals of emotional intelligence, relationship building, responsible behavior, etc. Now, what's the difference between cell and LSC? LSC is life skill education. Cell programs focus specifically on developing self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. But life skill education offers a much broader framework, incorporating cell as a core component, but also extending to practical skills like critical thinking, communication, problem solving, managing daily challenges, etc. for overall well-being and productivity. So essentially, cell builds the emotional foundation and LSC builds upon that foundation with broader competencies for navigating life easily. So at the policy level, ensuring sufficient exposure and intensity of cell is the need of the hour. Usually cell are not seen as a significant part of the educational system and may be viewed as an extracurricular or add-on course or secondary like that. So that should be included in the curriculum. And let me pass on to the scope of research on cell. It can be classified into 5 dimensions, that is development of materials, modules, models for cell, then effective implementation strategies that could be adopted, specific outcome-based studies, training for administrators, teachers, non-teaching staff, and parents, studies based on assessment. Now, I would like to suggest a few areas of research in connection with cell. And more researches can be conducted based on the basic or the core components of cell programs such as self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision-making, etc. Then more studies can be conducted on institutional climate and culture, cell applications to out-of-school situations, professional development and training for teachers on cell, orientation to parents, and incorporating families of students for social and emotional development. Now, problem-based conflict resolution modules for students and teachers can be developed. That is conscientization modules or models on prevention and use of tobacco, alcohol, drugs, all those social evils. Then prevention of bullying, violence, anger management, and social skills based on positive actions to prevent such behavior. And counselors kit for teachers and administrators can also be developed. Positive action programs to address the needs of specific schools, that is based on their requirement, like urban, rural, tribal, marginalized, linguistic minority, and gender. Now, we can conduct studies on effectiveness of or develop counselors kit for teachers and administrators. And the cell learning can be included in the curriculum for adult education also. And there are possibility of more researches based on the outcome of cell, that is based on academic success of students, cell skills integrated with academic content, all those general disciplines, then mental health, positive behavior, community impact of cell, interpersonal relationship, social behavior, employability, and national and global citizenship and peace education. Now, another emerging scope of research is on digital age and technology integration in cell. Since we are living in a digital era, the role of cell in navigating the challenges and opportunities of digital media and the online world is a key emerging area of research in this regard. This includes both using technology to foster cell and addressing issues like digital well-being, cybercrimes, and other such manipulations, etc., etc. And workplace and higher education, the scope of cell is expanding beyond school education into universities and workplace with a focus on preparing individuals for evolving job markets that require strong interpersonal and intrapersonal competencies. And more studies can be conducted on a refinement of tools. That is, researchers are needed to refine assessment tools to address self-reporting biases and to better measure specific competencies across diverse cultural and developmental level. Our National Education Policy 2020 emphasizes the function of education to develop good human beings capable of rational thought and action, possessing what we call compassion and empathy. An education that promotes cell has a positive influence on a wide range of outcomes, including academic performance, healthy relationships, mental wellness, etc. And one of the functions of education is to preserve, transform, and transmit culture. India is a dynamic society where age-old traditions and customs coexist with modern global influences, creating a constantly evolving environment. So to implement cell program, culturally sustainable pedagogy, known as CSP, can be incorporated that preserves sustainable aspects in the cultural and linguistic knowledge and experiences of our nation. And let me conclude my presentation. Let me conclude my presentation. Future directions and emerging trends in SL research include systematic and coordinated implementation and integrating cell throughout the system-wide, coordinating practices across classrooms, schools, families, colleges, communities, rather than implementing fragmented short-term programs. And actually, we require more studies on short-term and long-term outcomes of cell. And let me conclude here. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we look at the sociological aspect of teaching. To speak on culturally relevant pedagogy, I invite Dr. Dhanjay Neeraj. Next, we look at the sociological aspect of teaching. To speak on culturally relevant pedagogy, I invite Dr. Dhananjay Neeraj.
Very good morning to one and all. And indeed, my special greetings to you all from the holy land of Lord Buddha. This is Dr. Dhananjay Dheeraj from the holy land of Bodh Gaya, that is Bihar, where Lord Buddha got enlightenment. Thanks to Narayan Guru Kripa B.Ed College, Seem and my other panelists like Dr. Geeta Shinde, Professor Maya, Professor Menon, and all others, regards to you all. Today I have been invited to talk on culture-based pedagogy. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Actually, when we talk of culture-based pedagogy, you know, India is a multilingual and multicultural country. We are proud of its rich and varied heritage. But the fact is that in our regular classroom transaction, in our regular classroom practice, we are missing the term culture. And we have forgotten the culture, and now we are running blindly for learning. Learning, that is classroom transaction. What that classroom transaction is, just we have to deliver what we have with us. That is merely the completing of syllabus. No essence of culture is there. And you know, that's why true learning is not taking place. Let me remind you all that we should look into the history first. When we look into the history, let me remind you of the Vedic age, the Vedic period. At that time, you know, we were adopting the principles of culture-based pedagogy. Learning on. The system was turned into the Gurukul system of education. Students were being sent to the Gurukulas. They were learning over there. All values, ethics, morality, everything was imbibed in their behavior through the culture-based pedagogy. And now let me cite some of the examples of culture-based pedagogy. Friends, when we talk of culture-based pedagogy, you know, it is imbibing of everything what is needed for all-round development towards a child. You must have heard about one of the saints of India, that is Sandipani Muni. He was running an ashram and a gurukulam. Lord Krishna, who was from a royal family, and Sudama, who was from a poor Brahmin family, they both were studying together, learning together. It was the technique of that time, it was the culture-based pedagogy by Sandipani Muni that the things were imbibed similarly, or the total curriculum was transacted in such a manner that Sudama and Krishna both could adopt the things, both could grasp of the things. You can come to the another example. While at the time of Mahabharata, you must have heard about Eklavya, Dronacharya. You know, Eklavya was not a student of Dronacharya, not direct school. Classroom practice, I'm no way connected to him, since he was a tribal student. He was from a tribe. And you know, with the help of his culture-based pedagogy, culture-based learning techniques, he excelled himself up to be a good archer. Even Dronacharya was surprised that how he is adopting such a skills, that he is going to be an excellent archer, how the things are possible. It was the culture-based technology, it was the culture-based pedagogy that he was excelling himself in the field. Another example, let me quote how the values were being imbibed. Bhishma Pitama was one of the major characters of the story of Mahabharata. But when Bhishma was young enough, he went to the Gurukula and he came back. His father asked him, what did you learn? He explained all the things, Vidya Dadati Vinayam, Vinaya Dadati Patratam and all. But when his father, Shantanu was sad for a few days. Bhishma tried to know every fact that what makes my father sad. He was unable to explore, but finally he could approach, he could learn from his Sarathi, his driver. He told that even in this age, now your father is in love with someone. He wants to marry her. The young boy of 16 years old, he told them, what is the problem? Let him marry. But the condition was that the survivor of the estate of Hastinapur, the Sultanate of Hastinapur, will be not Bhishma, rather the son which will take place. The young 16 or 18 years old young boy, he took a pledge that he will keep himself celibate for the whole year. He will not marry him for one smile of his father. This was the impact of culture-based pedagogy. What culture was being imbibed, what values were being imbibed at that time through the culture-based pedagogy. Culture was an approach to learn the things. Now, friends, coming to the present scenario. Now the culture of joint family is being converted into nuclear family, single family. The values are getting refined. The values are being minimized. The team spirit, cooperation, the passion, the things which were being learned in the joint families, now it is missing. But what the things are, how can we inculcate these values through our culture-based pedagogy among these students, among this new generation? Since moral degeneration and degeneration, the values is not a national, rather international concern. We all are worried about the students. The students are worried. The parents are worried. The whole teacher community is worried. The students, they are using the screen like anything. The screen timing is being increased, and we are worried about that. The students are losing their values. Most of the times they are attached to the electronic gadgets. No place for culture, no place for values. There is a need to be imbibed in the own culture. We should be deeply rooted in our ethos. Many things can be learned with the help of culture and values. So even a single day is being celebrated in different names in this country. This shows our cultural reflection. But the motto is learning, but the motive is learning. Onam, Pongal, Sankranti, just we have celebrated on the 14th of Jan, all over the nation. The spirit of festivity is there. The spirit of celebration is there. The spirit of multiculturality is there. The multicultural reflection is there. The only thing is there, we are missing the spirit. We are leaving the culture. Since we are applying AI over there, machine learning over there, but we need to look back. We need to look back into our culture. We look back to change our methodologies, the approaches which were being employed in the Gurukulas. What modes of pedagogy were being used in those days and what we are using nowadays? What is the difference? Why we are lagging behind? Every day in the newspaper or even in the media, you could see the reflections of moral degeneration, loss of values among students. This ultimately leads to fiasco in achieving the aims of education. Our aims of education are not just to make the students to pass in exams, but the aims of education states that a student should be passing life. Hardly matters even if he is failing the exams. That was how the students were being trained in the Gurukulas, that they should be passing the life, even if they are failing the exams. Hardly matters. Nowadays, what we are doing, the students are preparing hard in order to crack IIT and JEEs. Ultimately, if they fail to do so, they break themselves, they commit suicide. This is the difference that what we are doing with the help of these modern pedagogies, innovative pedagogies, latest pedagogies. The culture-based pedagogy is missing. And the culture-based pedagogy states that the student should be related to his culture, deeply rooted in the ethos, the nation of the motherland, and he should be able to survive in any situation, in any condition. Friends, this is only possible when we look back into the culture. It's good that we are giving them the primary education or the elementary education in their mother tongue, but that is not only constant. We have to look after the other aspects also when we talk of the all-round development of a student. The culture-based pedagogy is the demand of the day. The culture-based pedagogy is the only remedy or the panacea in order to restore the moral values and ethics in the new generation. And I hope it should be necessarily a part of our curriculum that few of the things, few portion of every subject should be tackled with the help of culture-based pedagogy. Once again, thanks to you all. As I was told to just have a span of 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. So thanks to you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our final presentation focuses practical application, speaking on design-based research for classroom innovation. Let me welcome Dr. Srilada.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Very good afternoon to all. Respected moderator of Mohan Menon sir, fellow panelists, and also the dignitaries, a very good afternoon to all. It's my honor to share my reflections on design-based research for classroom innovations, which is very much resonated to the guidelines of the guidelines and vision of NEP 2020. And here I'm going to present what is design-based research and also the key theoretical foundations and why DBR fits classroom innovation, the major characteristics and principles, the iterative DBR process, and real-world examples in classrooms. Let us see what is meant by design-based research. A major concern about the social science and educational research is the gap between theory and practice. The theoretical components of the theory of educational research is very much robust, but the practice is, that is, scope is very much limited. A remedial measure for that is design-based research, and here comes the scope for design-based research. Design-based research is an iterative design for educational practices, which is introduced by Brown and Collins in the year 1992 to bridge the theory-practice divide in education. And it is beautifully defined as a systematic but flexible methodology aimed to improve educational practices through the iterative cycle of analysis, design, development, and implementation, and which may lead to both the classroom interventions and also sensitive design principles and theories. And the key theoretical foundations of this design-based research is, the first one is based on pragmatism, then constructivism by Piaget, social constructivism by Vygotsky, which educates that learning is socially mediated, and also it is based on situated learning theory by Lam and Wenger, that is who told that is learning occurs in authentic context. The main focus of DBR is improving classroom innovations, collaborative, context, and specific experiments. Actually, this DBR has dual focus. The one is effective classroom interventions, and also that is it aims to design principles that inform theory. Let me highlight the various 7 characteristics or principles of DBR. The first one is that it is intervention focused. That is, it is for some solutions in the classroom. It is highly pragmatic and focuses on measurable improvements. And the difference the main difference of this research DBR from experimental method is that it is contextual. It is conducted in natural classroom environment, and it is integrative. That is mixed methods, both quantitative and qualitative methods we are applying for the effectiveness of DBR. And it is not linear, it is iterative, and that is a cyclical. First, we will analyze the problem and we will design intervention for that. Then we will implement it. Then again, that is, we will find out the impact of that, then refine, and again implement, testing, redefine, etc. like that. And also, that is, it's highly collaborative. Researchers, teachers, and sometimes learners, they all become co-partners of this process. It is highly theory-driven. The intervention is made, that is, from the existing learning theories, and that is, the solution is, that is, we are producing generalizable design principles. The next question is, why DBR in classrooms? We are having action research and also we are having experimental researchers. Then why DBR? The answer is that it addresses real classroom problems, improves teaching learning process, generates practical discipline, design principles, and also the main thing is that it empowers teachers as innovators, and also that is knowledge creators and change agents. And with the help of design-based classroom researchers, that is, we can change our classrooms to fit for NEP 2020. And the process of design-based research is, that is mainly, it's a cyclical process, and repetition is also there. It is highly iterative, and the process is, we are starting with analysis. And in the analysis, we are identifying problems, real classroom problems. Then an initial orientation may be made on that. What is the problem? We are trying to find out the causes. Then a literature review will be made that is based on the existing principles. And after that, field-based investigation, that is classroom investigations, will be done, and exploration is there. And based on this analysis, that is design and construct an intervention. And that is, that intervention may be based on the existing knowledge. And the third step is, it is implementation, and it is iterative cycles of testing and refinement of solutions. There may be multiple cycles of that. And after implementation, we will summarize the outcomes, refine theories, and also generate design principles for broader generalization. Then the methods used for data collection in DBR include both quantitative and also qualitative methods. It includes classroom observations, interviews, focus groups, students' work analysis, various tests, questionnaires, and also other scales. Like that, that is, we are including, along with the intervention, we are including these data collection methods also. And next one is, what is the role of DBR researcher? DBR researcher, design-based researcher, that is, the researcher is something different. He is not only experimenting, but sometimes that is here to become a curriculum designer, and also as a curriculum theorist. Here, as a curriculum designer, he has to design educational interventions, sometimes softwares, some tangible objects which can be applied in the classrooms. All these can be as curriculum designer, that is, he is framing all these things. Then as a curriculum theorist, that is refining theories. The theories are there, based on the interventions may be implemented to multiple groups, sometimes multiple groups. From that, we will collect the solutions, and thus the curriculum existing theories may be refined for broader generalization. And also, another importance is that here, teachers also become a part of the research work. That is, teachers become co-partners, sometimes reflective practitioners, and they create knowledge also. So in this what happens is when educational experimental research happens in semi-controlled conditions and also in laboratories, here DBR takes place in actual classrooms. For example, that is in classrooms, that is we are having so many problems related with the teaching, sometimes curriculum designs, and also management problems, etc. So many problems are there. At that time, that is, we can suppose that if a teacher or if we are identifying a problem related with the low engagement and also low achievement in English grammar for the students, we can have design-based research in this area. First, we have to identify analysis, we have to identify it, and we have to find out what are the solutions. A package that is consisting of for example, musical edutainment package can be designed. It can be implemented in a classroom. If we can test its effectiveness, whether it is effective or not, we can identify the loopholes. Again, once again, that is redesigned. It can be redesigned, then re-implementing. Like that, the cycle is going on till we reach the perfection. And also, it can be conducted in different settings also. And from these settings, we'll be able to come to the theory, and it will be highly useful for, it is not locally applicable, but it can be globally made applicable through these multiple classroom cycles. But it has its own challenges also. The major challenges faced by in DBR is that the first one, that is, we have to do the multiple cycles. That's why it is a very time constraint, and also there is resources also that is highly demanding resources are there. Then complex data analysis is there, since we are using quantitative and qualitative approaches together, and also multiple cycles. And another one is it is a collaborative process, and that's why that collaboration also some difficulties may be facing. Even though these challenges are there, but we can say that it is the future research. It should be the future research, especially that is when we are implementing this NEP 2020, because NEP 2020 aligns with the innovations, especially the classroom innovations, and also the context-specific solutions. That's why DBR becomes that is a necessity of today. That is, it aligns with the NEP 2020 focus on innovation, and also it bridges the research practice divide is there. Even though so many researchers are carrying out in the field of education, that is, all the results are not implemented in the classrooms, and there is a divide between the research and practice. And by implementing this DBR, we can find a solution to this bridge, to this gap to an extent. And also another that it supports.
1 minute left.
Okay. It supports sustainable classroom changes. That's why DBR will be the future classroom research. And as I have mentioned, that is, it produces context-relevant evidence also. And actually, that is, in my opinion, and also I think that is others may also agree with me, that is DBR as the future-ready methodology for social sciences, and especially for educational researchers. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for the person, your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I call upon Professor Mohan V. Menon for the discussion and to give concluding remarks.
There are only 15 minutes, not 17 minutes, 18 minutes left. Are there some questions on these four presentations? Quick, if we can have questions or observations, because I will take about 10 minutes to conclude, which will be 12:30 by then. So if there are any questions, we can very clearly present that four panel topics. Or okay. So shall I then conclude? But I'm sure there will be many questions in your mind. Maybe that it is now lunch is coming up, so we thought why to delay. Okay, if there are no questions, then I would like to conclude by telling that first of all, that I congratulate all the four panel speakers because they touched very important, significant areas of the research that one will have to or one can conduct in the area of education, and also the last paper, a very comprehensive design-based approach that we can take up in the research studies in education, which is essentially a practice-oriented discipline. Personally, of course, I am quite inclined to the design-based I mentioned in the beginning also. But we have to clearly see how that can be applied in various situations. Now, let me take up each of the presentation. Regarding AI, I think we all would like to agree with the presenter that artificial intelligence is just a tool. If we use that mechanically, then probably we are going to be in trouble. There are two major reasons for that I can see. Number one, that all data available in the internet are not actually, what can I say, that copyright-wise, that what we can use. Because we should remember that AI is in very early stages. Lot more research on AI itself will have to be conducted. What would be the role of AI and what are the things which are legally correct to data that can be used and what are not. I want to highlight one point that all of you would have heard about open educational resources. You see, open educational resources are resources which can be used by machine or by AI or others, human beings, without any problem of license. The reason is that they all follow a Creative Commons license, so there is no problem on that. But there are a lot more at the privacy part that the speaker was talking about. There are a lot more data and information available which are private. When AI mines into this information, AI is mining actually, goes all ways of extracting the what is needed and putting it in the form which is useful for the user. It really doesn't take into account always. Partly, it might, if it is clearly said that it is copyrighted, not to be used. Possibly AI can understand that and will not use that. I don't know. I mean, if that sort of a level to which AI has progressed, then well and good. But the problem still remains that there are for example, the data itself. Now, many of us doing research, we generate data. I remember participating in a meta research. From various countries, people were involved, and I was involved from India and Also, Malaysia used to work there at that time. And the data we collected was available for all to use. We called that as an open data. That's fine. If that data is for open use, then it's fine. But if the data is not released for open use, then it cannot be used. Anyway, that's problems related to AI that is still in the beginning stage, so it has to be worked out. Now, very rightly said, the presenter mentioned that, so the responsibility remains with the user, the teacher, the student. So, lot of interaction. After AI generated whatever that they wanted, but information or whatever the solution that it has come out with, lot of discussion on that becomes very important to take care of the ethics part of it, to take care of the authenticity part of it, the possible some of the data will appear to be not really believable, that when they come out and say this is how it is, may have to be further checked and such things. Anyway, so which again tells that the lot of research is possible, lot of issues can be generated out of this thing. Number two is SEL related. Similarly, the social and emotional learning is not a standalone type of outcome to be achieved, but it has to be integrated with the classroom teaching. See, it is maybe required sometimes to have special programs for SEL, but I would believe that SEL becomes successful only if the pedagogy integrates the principles of SEL transaction into its into the environment, which I think is possible, because I don't find any major contradiction between what the methodologies that SEL would ask for and the methodologies which is considered to be very useful and conducive for learner. So considering that, I think, but efforts surely have to be made by the teacher to include those aspects into the class, into the SEL. Yes, that is there. So that again raises issues. Now, coming to the third paper, of course, we have been hearing about it and we have been considering this. Yes, it has to be, the pedagogy has to be culture-based, no doubt about it. Because pedagogy, or for that matter, curriculum transaction is a very social phenomenon. It is not outside the context of that society. But society, when we are meaning, it is not only society which we have today, but also society which has been existing earlier, and the type of very useful methodologies, and just like we talked about Gurukul and such things, which you all agree. See, Gurukul, the type of transaction that will go on with the Guru and the learners are always accepted as a very major thing that we should try to replicate in the classroom. There's no doubt about it, because tarka or debates and then go into many people know that the Gaveshan word came out of go innovation, one would say. I read somewhere. I was quite impressed by that, because the learners will go on and finding the cows which were in the for grazing. Go innovation. So what I'm about to highlight is that to develop curiosity, to find things on one's own, self-learning, all these are also highlighted in the Gurukul form. So now integrating that with today's classroom and technology is a difficult task. So we have to probably identify what are the elements of things which technology can provide and what it cannot provide, and where the learner engagement with the guru or the teacher has to be there in the classroom. So this again raises issues. How we can think of creating learning situations or learning in this manner. So that was also a very interesting. I mean, it was very thought-provoking thing that was presented in the third presentation. The last one, interestingly, I mean, maybe that I am that I am also very inclined to go for design-based research, including my own PhD work happened in 80s was a design-based. Before the design-based research came up, we used the title I can tell you, which will given, evolving a multimedia strategy for in higher education. That was the thing. Multimedia, what was multimedia at that time? Very simple multimedia. I'm talking about 70s and 80s. So there was no digital learning. Digital learning was not there at all. Forget about AI and all this. But the principles involved were the same. It was to be seen as a system and an integrated whole, and where you have to consider everything in while we are designing something. Now, the methodology what you suggested in the fourth paper seems to be very interesting. I think anywhere we have such issues coming up. Remember, education is a practice-oriented discipline. It is not a theoretical discipline. It's not like sociology or philosophy or psychology. They are basic disciplines. Education is, sometimes they call it as a composite discipline or a practice-oriented discipline, which means that education existence only when it is in practice. Otherwise, we are either talking about psychology or philosophy or sociology, but it becomes education when we integrate the disciplines along with the actual situations. That is why when it comes to that sort of a discipline, the most appropriate, according to me, is to go for a design-based, but may not be in all cases. Some of the simple evidences, we can do surveys and all and find out things, what's happening and all, that's possible. But when actually coming to make a transformation in the situation, it is very important that we go for a transformative or a design which will help us. It not only gives evidences, but also helps us to change. That's the advantage. Other type of researchers, whether it's basic or experimental researchers, will give me evidences, but it may not give a immediate thing to change. Here it will change. It will come out with outcomes which are the evidences as well as outcomes achieved. Those materials or those what can I say, educational interventions we are trying out can be used later. Thank you very much. I would have liked to talk more, but I think it will be of some use. I would think that CTEF will take the initiative that some of these things are further continued, and institutions individually or together can take up some workshops and then come out with ways and means of doing this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that expert moderation and for synthesizing such complex topics so effectively. And a massive thank you to our panelists, Professor Geeta, Professor Maya, Dr. Dhanjay, and Dr. Srilata, for sharing your groundbreaking insights. I think we all have a lot of food for thought regarding where educational research is heading, specifically regarding the balance between AI and human-centric pedagogy.
With that, we conclude this insightful session of panel presentations. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all our presenters for sharing their valuable research and to the audience for their engaging questions. Thank you. Now, it's time for technical session. We have the theme presentation by Dr. Binita Kumari Podal. I invite Ms. Malavika for the introductory speech.
Respected Chief Guest, distinguished resource person, esteemed faculty members, dear delegates, and my fellow participants, a very good afternoon to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this national seminar conducted at Srinarayana Gurukripa B.Ed College. We are truly honored by your presence and participation, which adds great value to today's academic deliberations. We now move on to the technical session 1, scheduled from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m., which focuses on the theme, the double-edged sword of social media in youth mental health. In today's digital era, social media plays a powerful role in shaping the thoughts, emotions, and behaviors of young minds. While it offers connection, creativity, and awareness, it also raises serious concerns related to mental health, self-esteem, anxiety, and well-being. This session aims to explore both these dimensions critically and thoughtfully. We are privileged to have with us Dr. Binita Kumari Powder, who serves as an associate professor at the School of Public Health, Purbanjal University, Gurgaon, Model. She had actively served as the chairperson of the Curriculum Development Committee for Public Health for 2 terms since 2016, during which she led the revision of BPH curriculum and the development of the MPH curriculum. She has also played a significant role in promoting and implementing public health ethics across both constituent and affiliated colleges of university. On behalf of Srinarayana Gurukripa B.Ed College, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Binita Kumari Paudel ma'am and thank her for graciously accepting our invitation and sharing her valuable knowledge with us. I now invite the dignitaries and request your kind attention as we begin technical session 1. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Respected Chair of the Council for Teacher Education Foundation, Kerala, and then the conference organized by Srinarayan Guru Kirpa B.Ed College, all the dignitaries, respected dignitaries, presenter, panelists, participants. I would like to share my warm welcome from Nepal. I am very grateful to Madam Gita that she invited me to this conference. And I'm going to talk in this regards. The double-edged sword of social media in youth mental health. I would like to start why this is the matter. Social media is deeply embedded in youth daily life. Now, not only youth, adolescent, and we middle age, even senior citizen also involved in social media. Over 90% of young people globally use social media.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello.
Social media, yes.
Your voice is breaking.
Is it breaking?
Your voice is breaking. I think if you close the video, we may be able to listen properly because the slides are visible. Please.
Okay, I will close the video. Thank you very much.
Carry on, ma'am. Carry on with the presentation.
Okay. In one hand, social media offer the connection, expression, and learning. On the other hand, it linked with anxiety, depression, and social comparison as well. Digital space now shape identity, emotion, and well-being. And that's why this issue we need to talk, we need to discuss. I would like to remember the COVID-19 pandemic. That time, mainly physical network was restricted, and we mainly focused on social network. And at that time, a study conducted in China that also emphasized the positive effect and negative effect of social network, like the transmitting epidemic information and providing psychological comfort significantly protected subjective well-being and enhanced social trust at that time. But at the same time, spreading rumor was also from the social network, and conveying the negative emotion was also very common at that time, and that significantly detriment the subjective well-being and undermine social trust. The findings from this research also shows the both aspect of social network or social media. If we go to the use of social media, what is the status of current use of social media? One survey conducted among school-age children, and this survey was reported in WHO homepage. According to this survey is very large scale survey, like 44 countries were participated in this survey. And this survey, according to this survey, problematic social media use among adolescents increasing from 7% in 2018 to 11% in 2022. This is among adolescents. And this data, 11% is in 2022. Now it is in the 2025, it is already increasing. And then among young adult, the social media use is increasing by age as well. And that's why social media use among young adult is higher than this. Especially if we see by the gender, girls reported higher levels of problematic social media use than boys. Like among boys, 13%, among girls, 13% versus 9% among boys. That's why problematic social media use is higher among girls. Over a third of young people reported constant contact with friends online. Usually, we are also, it is the like among us as well. Like we are mainly contact with each other online, and that rate is also higher among girls. Different research have been conducted in social media connection with psychology. We can find a lot of research in this issue. Connection comes with the psychological cost, especially this connection, social media connection is related to the psychology. Problematic or excessive social media use linked with anxiety, depression, and stress. So many research have proved this information. Passive scrolling has a stronger negative effect. Mainly social media use is also different types. We can use different way. And if it is passive scrolling, it has the stronger negative effect. Moderate use may support well-being. If it is moderately using, then it can be supporting to the well-being or positive impact. especially context and content. What type of information we are searching or looking for in the social media is very important compared to screen time alone. How much time young adult they have been spending in the social media, it doesn't matter, but what type of content or what type of context they are looking, that is the matter. How it can harm to the psychology or mental well-being? Different research identified that mainly social media is associated with depression, and how depression can develop. The first thing is social comparison. When young adults they use the social media, they have a feeling of social comparison. This feeling fosters the feelings of social comparison, foster feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. Similarly, another feeling or fear of missing out, that also leads to depression. Create a sense of urgency and fear of missing out, contributing to anxiety and stress. If some period of time they cannot access the social media, they may feel like anxiety, they may feel like something very important I'm going to miss or something, and they frequently check their connection, check their social media, and that contribute the anxiety and stress. Mainly use of social media reduce the face-to-face interaction. This face-to-face interaction, reduction in face-to-face interaction displaces the real life interaction. Even in the family, everyone, they are in the phone and they use social media and they don't have interaction among each other. We can see this type of, we can see or we can face. This type of displacement in real life interaction lead to feeling of loneliness and isolation. Like virtually, we may have many friends, we are connected to many friends, but even we may feel lonely or isolated. Similarly, body image and perception. When we compare with others, and we may have dissatisfaction to the body image, or we have a negative self-image, especially this is among young women. Young women, they feel that the likes and comments and those things make them their feelings like dissatisfied. If they get many likes, they feel satisfied. If they don't get many likes, and then they feel dissatisfaction. Cyberbullying and online harassment is also associated with social media use. And cyberbullying and online harassment is associated with depression or mental stress or anxiety. Similarly, algorithm-driven content exposure that also affect the depression or psychological state. Similarly, sleep disturbance and attention dysregulation is also very common impact of problematic use of social media. And all these aspects affect their mental health. Social media is not only harmful. Many research identify that social media is not only harmful, it is also beneficial. Social media enhance positive mental health through stronger peer support, social connection, and belongingness. Facilitate information sharing, promotes self-expression and social interaction. Similarly, access to a peer support network. Mental health awareness and help seeking can also social network. We talk to two aids. Positive part media. Now research are focusing more on negative aspect of the or access use of the social media. Research, only less research are focusing on positive aspect or use of social media for enhancing psychological health. Only few research we can find in this aspect. But they have access, but at the same time, they may have addiction. They have a connection. Connection can be used for beneficial purpose, and at the same time, there is the risk of comparison and poor mental health, anxiety, and distress. Similarly, social media use can empower them to decide, to control over their determinants of health, but at the same time, social media can exploit their mental health. They have a connection, and good connection can enhance mental health. At the same time, it can lead to the comparison. Social media connection, they can have support from that linkage, but at the same time, they may develop the stress if misuse it. There is the engagement, they feel belongingness among each other, support each other, but at the same time, they may have distraction if they misuse it. However, outcome depends on quality of use and safeguard. As I mentioned before in the introduction, mainly the pattern and how they use, what content and context they are using, that depends on the outcome. What type of outcome we have, that depends on the content and context that we access in social media. Why do we need to understand, especially we are the academician students, so why do we need to understand this issue? Why do we need to discuss this issue? Social media is the means of getting information, or this can be a learning platform as well. That's why we have to see this from positive aspect as well. And we have to understand negative aspect as well. It significantly affects student well-being and academic performance. Different research evidence suggests this. That's why being an academician, we have to understand this. We have to identify this. This can affect positive mental health or positive well-being is essential for impactful teaching learning as well. If they are in stress, they are in anxiety, if they are in fear of missing out something, and that's why I should have discussed this issue. What can be the way forward? Shift from restriction to resilience. Restriction is not the solution, because this is the, like in the introduction, I have mentioned that this became the life, everyday life of the individual. That's why positive use or mindful use is very important. In order to increase mindful use of social media, we have to increase digital literacy. Digital literacy through formal education, like include in the curriculum, or from informal exposure or training or extra session, we can increase digital literacy. Emphasis on research focusing on positive aspect of social media use. Now, if we try to find the research, mainly we can find the negative impact of the social media use. Many research conducted focusing on that part, but that make everyone feel like, oh, using the social media is very harmful, very bad. That kind of image we may create. But if we focus research on positive aspect of social media use, then we might have a positive image towards social media. That's why research also necessary to focus on positive aspect. Similarly, we have to develop and apply evidence-informed intervention to promote proper use of social media. How to use social media properly? How to make them use properly? That type of intervention should also be researched. What type of intervention would be very useful, very impactful to change or to prevent from risky use of social media? For example, mindfulness activity intervention, how we can make them mindful while using social media, what type of intervention would be useful for that? How to set self-boundaries, what type of intervention encourage young adult to set self-boundaries while using social media? That type of intervention should also be researched. That's why evidence-based intervention we have to develop through research and apply using evidence-based intervention package. Youth or students' participation in digital well-being is also the solution, because this is the participatory, always participatory program would be more impactful. So we have to participate youth or students as well. From this discussion, I would like to conclude, like, social media is neither inherently harmful nor beneficial. Social media itself, it is not harmful, it is not beneficial. How we use is the most important. Mental health effect emerges through interaction pattern, use, context, and support system. As I mentioned, on interaction pattern and use, context, and social support system. That's why mental health effect is can be guided, or can be controlled. That's why collective responsibility is necessary to protect youth mental health. Balanced, evidence-informed approaches are essential. If we can use evidence-informed approaches, balance evidence-based approaches, then we can prevent from this type of mental health issue associated with social media. I would like to mention 2 take-home messages. The goal is not restriction. We should not restrict. Our goal should not be resilience. Similarly, encourage in mindful use of social media is very important. Encouraging or talking or raising this issue, like mindful use of social media is the only solution, I think. And that's why I would like to emphasis in this, and I would like to conclude or complete my presentation. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. We extend our sincere thanks to Dr. Binita Kumari Monde for your insightful theme presentation on the double-edged sword of social media in youth mental health. Your expert analysis has enlightened us on the complex impact of social media on youth well-being, inspiring deeper reflection and actionable strategies in education and mental health. We appreciate your valuable contribution to this conference and hope for continued collaboration in future endeavors. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your knowledge and enriching our session. Thank you. With that, we'll have a lunch break. We request all of you to rejoin at sharp 2 p.m. for technical session 2. Thank you.